the staff director of the Joint Congressional Committee and inaugural ceremonies.
And that was Hunter Biden.
Fitzhugh Elder IV.
And his baby, named after
House Senate Sergeant at Arms.
his late brother,
Tim
Bill.
Blodgett, and the acting Senate Sergeant at Arms, Jennifer Hemingway.
The escort committee, Terry Moran, notice this escort committee, everybody from the Sergeant at Arms office is acting. That's, of course, because the Sergeant at Arms were relieved of their duty after the siege of the Capitol.
Because of that catastrophe in preparation and support of the law enforcement mission there to protect that Capitol. And as you've hinted, what we're seeing is the reclaiming of that hallowed ground in our country from that violent mob back to the proper representatives of the people's democracy. They said it's our house. No, it's actually all our house, and there's a way to get there.
Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. and Dr. Jill Biden.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! That's my boy! That's my boy! Hard work is paying off, guys. Our hard work is paying off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the feeling is there. We saw that fist bump between President Obama, who's Vice President Joe Biden, now President-elect, soon to be President.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, boy. You go. You go, sir. Oh my God. This is right.
We'll hear from Senator Amy Klobuchar. She will welcome, be the first to welcome that somewhat more sparse inaugural crowd today.
Please welcome the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Vice President Pence, Mr. President-elect, Madam Vice President-elect, members of Congress and the judicial branch, former presidents and first ladies, vice presidents, leaders from abroad, and a whole bunch of Bidens. America, welcome to the 59th presidential inauguration, where in just a few moments, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will take their solemn oaths. This ceremony is the culmination of 244 years of a democracy. It is the moment when leaders brought to this stage by the will of the people promise to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish it and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, guardians of our country. Have we become too jaded, too accustomed to the ritual of the passing of the torch of democracy to truly appreciate what a blessing and a privilege it is to witness this moment? I think not. 2 weeks ago, when an angry, violent mob staged an insurrection and desecrated this temple of our democracy, it awakened us to our responsibilities as Americans. This is the day when our democracy picks itself up, brushes off the dust, and does what America always does. Goes forward as a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This conveyance of a sacred trust between our leaders and our people takes place in front of this shining Capitol dome for a reason. When Abraham Lincoln gave his first inaugural address in front of this Capitol, the dome was only partially constructed, braced by ropes of steel. He promised he would finish it. He was criticized for spending funds on it during the Civil War. To those critics, he replied, "If the people see the Capitol going on, it is a sign we intend the Union shall go on." and it did, and it will. Generations of Americans gave their lives to preserve our republic in this place. Great legislation to protect civil rights and economic security and lead the world was debated and crafted under this dome. Now it falls on all of us, not just the two leaders we are inaugurating today, to take up the torch of our democracy, not as a weapon of political arson, but as an instrument for good. We pledge today never to take our democracy for granted as we celebrate its remarkable strength. We celebrate its resilience, its grit. We celebrate the ordinary people doing extraordinary things for our nation, the doctors and nurses on the front line of this pandemic, the officers in the Capitol, a new generation never giving up hope for justice. We celebrate a new president, Joe Biden, who vows to restore the soul of America and cross the river of our divides to a higher plane. And we celebrate our first African American, first Asian American, and first woman vice president.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Of so many on this platform who have forged the way to this day. When she takes the oath of office, little girls and boys across the world will know that anything and everything is possible. And in the end, that is America, our democracy, a country of so much good. And today, on these Capitol steps and before this glorious field of flags, we rededicate ourselves to its cause. Thank you.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir.
It is now
Yes, sir.
my honor to introduce to you the senator who has worked with me and so many others to make this ceremony possible. My friend and the chair of the inaugural committee, Missouri Senator Roy Blunt.